Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm your host, iNoslen, and this is the Sunday edition. Our special guest today is Kenny Brazil, one of Atlanta's hottest up-and-coming artists. What's up, Kenny? How you doing?
What it is, man. Feels so good to be here. I appreciate you having me on your show, man, and I'm ready to give you what you want.
Heck yeah, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for making the time to come on the show. The way I like to start it off, and this is the way I do it for everybody, is for you guys to kind of give us a little bit of background on where you grew up and a little bit about the road that got you started.
I grew up in Brownsville, a place called Brownsville, Brooklyn, East New York. Actually, last 294 Osborne Street. Not far from Rockaway Avenue train station. Anybody from New York might know where that is. Be familiar with that area.
Yeah, man, far Rockaway.
Yep, that's where I was born and raised.
Heck yeah,
came
man.
Down here. I went joined the army. When I got in the army, I decided to stay here in Atlanta. So Atlanta's my spot now. That's home.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Thanks. So you were in the armed forces. That's freaking amazing, dude. Well, let me start off by saying thank you. You're probably part of the reason why I'm still alive, so I owe you a lot, man. Thanks.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you. So let's start off the first question with a little bit about how your career started. So I was looking through your bio, and the one thing that kind of stood out to me the most was the fact that you were performing all the way back in 3rd grade. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh man, yeah. I was a big Last Poets. If you know about the Last Poets, I was a big Last Poets fan. I used to hear that around the house. I got 5 uncles that was really into jazz and things of that nature, and the Last Poet kind of stuck out in my mind. And I used to do talent shows, man. I used to have teachers used to take me from class to class with a cousin of mine and another friend. We used to go class to class. We used to sing some of the classics in front of the classroom, you know what I'm saying, before class was starting. They would take us back to our class. So, I've been doing that for a minute, man. It's always been inside of me. I've had several hiatuses, but it never left me. So now I'm going in hard right now.
Oh, heck yeah, man. I mean, from what I can tell, I've actually listened to a bunch of your tracks that you sent me. They're freaking amazing. The flow is there. The production is definitely there. I'm impressed with all of it. I guess the next thing I kind of want to talk about is the fact that during the beginning of your career, you were actually doing 2 tours in the military, man. So what is that, like 8 years?
Yeah, it's 8 years. 8 years, man. 8 years.
Holy moly, check that out.
And I'm gonna tell you, man, it was the best. That was the best time of my life. That was the best time of my life, man. A lot of people, some people are down on the military, man. Sometimes, because of one reason or another. But it made me a man. It gave me discipline. Taught me a whole lot of things, man. And I got to leave Brownsville. Because my whole world was Brownsville, Brooklyn. I didn't know what was beyond Brownsville until I joined the army. Mm-hmm. And I got to meet a lot of people, man, in Germany. I spent 6 years in Germany. I spent some time in Korea. And I performed when I was over there. I was doing talent shows and stuff when I was over there too. So,
oh wow, check that out. So you were kind of doing the international thing. Oh man, that's amazing, dude. So basically you were overseas. You got a chance to do some performances over there, which, I mean, that's awesome, man. How'd you get into that?
Well, they had, they provide a whole lot of services over there when you're military. They have, recreation centers, and they have programs where you can learn music and things of that nature. And I gravitated to it. It was easy gravitation for me. And, I just jumped into it, man. And I never let it go.
Awesome. So I guess my next question is, like, what actually inspired you to want to be an artist?
My father was an artist back in the day. I mean, he's done some, he's a jazz artist, and he's done, the Apollo and all this other stuff back in the day, at its inception when it was a long time ago. Cause he's dead now, but he was old. He was much older. So, I mean, he did that stuff way back, probably black and white TV when he did it. So, it's just been in the family, man. It's just been a thing that, the family is just musical, and it's just something I can't not do it. It's there. I have to do it.
Wow, man. Well, that's the way it goes. You got to have that never give up attitude if you want to make it anything that has to do with entertainment. You know what I mean? So, man, I applaud you for that. I think that's super cool that you're, that determined to make it. So, here's my next question. I was looking through your bio, and it also said that you actually got to collaborate with George Clinton.
Yeah, that's that's family. The relationship that George and I have is actually like family. I'm very, very, very close with him. He's been a mentor to me over the past 10 years. I've learned more things. I couldn't pay for all the things that he taught me over the past 10 years. And I've gotten close to all of the band members, specifically a couple of band members that I'm going to mention. Belita Woods is one of the singers that we were very close. She died about a year and a half ago, and she used to be with Brainstorm. I'm not sure if you know Brainstorm back in the day. Mm-hmm. And another close person I was with, Gary Scheider. Gary Scheider is the one the lead singer that wore the diaper on stage. Yeah. He was another mentor for me in the industry, and taught me a lot of things about music and about the business of music, and of course George. And George came in town, man, and at the time my wife was doing his hair. She used to do all of the colorful stuff to his hair. Oh wow! And he came in town, and he called her, and she said, well, I'm going to do George's hair. Just bring all your stuff with you. So I brought all my music with me and sat down with him. And, he checked my stuff out. We was in the hotel room. And then he left. He separated, and he came back about 2 weeks later, man. And he stayed at my house for about 2 weeks, man. And we just wrote songs, for the whole 2 weeks. Wow. And two of those songs made the album. He had a double CD that came out in 2005. Called How Late Do You Have to Be Before You're Absent? And it's a double CD, and two of my songs are the last song on each one of the CDs, featuring him, myself, and Kendra Foster. Kendra Foster is another lead singer that he has. And me and George are like family, man. I love him to death, man. I can't even repay him for all the things he taught me over the years.
Man, that's freaking amazing. Having that kind of tie and that kind of mentoring. I mean, wow, dude. I mean, my mind is blown just hearing the story. So, I mean, you can imagine everybody's going to be like, what? George Clinton? For real? So that is, man, I guess that's going to help me with this next question. Like, what's your actual biggest achievement so far? And, what's your next goal as your career progresses?
Well, in terms of an achievement, just performing on stage with him, I haven't trumped that yet. Being able to do shows all over the country, with Paula Funkadelic and singing background. I was an attaché for him for a while. I carried his bags, dressed him, cleaned up hotels behind him. I've done all of the, driven him across country. So that's my biggest achievement to date. I've done a lot of shows, man, at all of these venues around town. Back when I was really going out there and doing all these talent shows, I've done all of that. And I think now it's time for me to venture out and get my situation on point. So that's why I'm getting aggressive now and doing shows like yours. You know what I'm saying? Because you provide a really good service for people. And, I think it's time for me to get out here and do that. And I want to shout out Diligent. Diligent is the one that turned me on to you. And, that's a really good brother, beautiful human being, and I appreciate him for, putting me on you. So, shout out to Diligent.
Oh, yeah, most definitely, man. Diligent's a super cool guy. The interview we did was amazing, man. I also did the one with Plex Long before that. So, I mean...
Yeah, I know Plex, too. Yeah, I know Plex.
Yeah, man, that whole Black Box Entertainment family is just amazing. Super, super cool guys. Just very humble, man. Very talented, you know what I mean? And that's why I'm so humbled by the response that I've gotten from you guys. I mean, honestly, I do this for you. The point of the show was to showcase each individual's artist's, story. Give them some background on who you are, what you've done, what you're trying to do, what you're gonna be, to show people, hey, somebody's got a story. And you don't really ever get to hear that because, a lot of the magazines, you know, or whoever, they just kind of put out whatever they want. You know, they just kind of look at some of your stuff and they're like, here, this is what we think of this guy. But you never really get to hear the full story, or, you know, something that has to do with who the guy is, you know, in reality in general. You know what I mean? And me being able to create this platform to, one, you know, exhibit you guys, but also give me an opportunity to, you know, do my part. You know what I'm saying? This is my little contribution to, you know, the game. You know what I mean? As far as entertainment goes, I've had all kinds of artists on here. I've had guys that have done reggae. I've got a rock band that is going to come out this Thursday that I did an interview with. And I've got a bunch of stuff, man, that I just, you know, I love all music. So whatever it is that you do, I definitely want to celebrate it here on the show. So Kenny, man, this is an amazing opportunity for me, and I'm just glad that you get to make it, man.
Oh man, it's a blessing, man. I mean, everything that goes, whatever goes around comes around, man. What you're doing for people, man, is on point, man. It is, you know, you're gonna be blessed, you know, from doing this, man. It's just gonna come back full circle. You know, that's just the way things go, man. That's how it is.
Heck yeah. So let's talk a little bit about some of the tracks that you've put out here over the years. There was a couple that actually stood out for me the most. The first one is Everlasting. Let's talk about that track.
Everlasting is I had that track for a long time, actually. I had it for a long time, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. And there's a young lady. Her name is Reese Ring. Real close friend of mine. We're super cool. She's a little lady. She's, you know, real short and compact, but she'll blow your ears off, man. She's bad. And right now she's singing with Climax. I don't know if you remember Climax from back in the day. She's touring with them right now. She's I guess she replaced somebody or whatever. But she's singing with them right now, and you know, I want to shout out her. But yeah, that song, we did that song, man, in something like 45 minutes. I mean, the song went quick. She is so talented. You know, I wrote my parts. My parts were done before she came to my studio. And, man, she sat down, man, and wrote that thing, man. We was done in like 45 minutes, man. I mean, she's awesome.
Man, that's amazing. That's what you get, man, when you do a really amazing collaboration with somebody who has as much drive as you do. I mean, at the end of the day,
Right.
You want somebody that's going to want to push as hard as you are. And, I mean, getting it done in 45 minutes is amazing. I'm going to just say that. I mean, I don't know. It's taken me weeks, man. I'll sit there and work on a track, and it'll take me, you know, weeks to get it right, to make it sound like I want. And then, you know, I don't have, like, I've had, like, people in the past that have tried to, you know, maybe go on one of the tracks that I've produced. But, I mean, most of the stuff, you know, has just been just me playing, man. I mean, my main concern is what I do here. Like, I've done production for, like, 8 years, so you can get a little idea who I am. Yeah, I did that for like 8 years, and then the show itself, or actually doing the show, I started back in 2013, and I don't know, man. It was a Sunday. I'm chilling. I got you know, one of my friends over, and he's like, "Yo, man, you should play this track I made on the show." And I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" He's like, "Man, just play the track on the show, bro. Just stream it." And I was like, "Okay." So I put the song on there, and then like a few days later, I get an email from one of the listeners telling me, "Hey, I like that song. Can you play it again, or do you have more songs, or do you guys play songs?" And I was like, "What? Okay, yeah, we definitely do." And then it just kind of blew up from there, man. Just you know, kind of doing my own thing. And I remember the first guys that I did an official interview with, which was DJ YRS Jersey and Chose Mac. Two super cool cats, man. And it just kind of started with them. And then after that, it hasn't stopped yet. I've been blessed. Thank you, Lord, for blessing me with the ability to be able to interview somebody every week, man, and just kind of keep the show moving along. And I've done a bunch of upgrades since then. Like, I've updated all the streaming tools to HD. My server streams at HD now, so when you guys listen to the show on Thursday and Sunday, man, it's super loud, super crisp, you know. And I just want the quality for you guys, because, you know, if you're going to play your music on my station, man, I definitely want it to sound the best that it possibly can. And if I have to spend a little bit of extra money out of my own pocket to do it, man, I don't care. You know what I mean? Because I'm going to enjoy it. You guys are too. And, you know, that's the point of the show. So let's go ahead and keep... Go ahead.
You know, sometimes you don't find your niche, man. Sometimes your niche finds you. You know what I'm saying? It just jumps in your face sometimes, you know.
And that's how it happened. That's literally how it happened.
You're doing a good job, man.
Oh, man, I appreciate it, dude. So I've got some more questions here. Let's get into a little bit about, like, your training. Were you classically trained to, because I've seen some of the tracks, you've got some vocals in there where you do a little bit of singing. I mean, not so much. I mean, you're not, not on some R&B stuff, but definitely a little bit of singing in there. And the way that you project your voice when you're doing the rap and everything, man, I mean, it sounds like, you've had just lots of practice. So, I mean, tell us a little bit about how long you've actually been doing it and how you were trained.
I guess I'm a savant, man. I haven't been classically trained or anything, man. It's just, it's really, everything I'm doing really is inspired, man. And I live in my studio. I work 8 hours a day, man, but I'm in my studio another 8 hours. And, I don't go to bed till late. So, I work on my craft. And what I've actually done is hibernate. I hibernated, until I started feeling like the sound was there. And I just didn't come out the lab, man. Now I'm just coming out the lab, man. I just really didn't. I'm very critical of what I do, and I think I have an ear for what's supposed to sound right, and I go for that. And so I'm not classically trained. I went to a vocal coach for a little while, and I can't remember the lady's name. The same coach that Usher and REM had. I don't remember her name. And she's up there by Guitar Center off of 85. I can't remember her name. I'm sorry, but I had a little vocal coaching with her, but that's about it.
Well, I mean, you got somebody locally, especially there in Atlanta, man. A lot of great music has come out of Georgia in general. You know what I mean? A lot of big artists, man. I mean, from like Ray Charles, you know what I'm saying? If you want to get deep, Ray Charles all the way up to Outkast, man. You know what I'm saying? Just a bunch of different guys that have just come out of Georgia. And I mean, all you guys that I've met so far, man, are very powerful. There's always been really good music coming out of that state. So I'm really happy for you guys. I'm so glad that, you're getting deeper into, the whole game, and you're doing, the studio sessions, and you're really putting in a lot of time, because that's what's really going to affect how well your music, gets received by, all your audience. And I guess that's my next question. Like, so far, what's been your biggest listener base?
Well, my rapping has actually, I've heard, I can see my growth in my rap development and in my rap production. I feel my growth in that area. Writing songs that's been pretty easy for me. But rap has been a challenge because it changes, the landscape changes so often. You know what I mean? I mean, you'll have Lil Wayne dominating for a long time, and now you got Schoolboy Q, and you have all these different styles. And what I learned is that these people are organic. Is there there's something about, there's a richness about them. So that when they rap, that richness comes through. So, I'm trying to just follow my gut on what I'm doing. Hopefully an audience, I'll be able to catch an audience and be able to make some money.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. Because that's the goal for everybody, right? We all want to make a little bit of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. So here's my next question. So I wanted to talk about another one of your tracks that I really liked. This one is "Where Were You When I Was Down."
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. This song right here, just let me give you my opinion on it first, because I think this matters. To me, this song makes me feel like it was a journey. Like you were like, I did all these things, I needed everything, and then here I am, and now it's not the way it should be, or it could have been. It's almost like one of those, let me look at life, and see where I'm at, and then figure out whether or not you should be there. And I guess that's the biggest thing I want to talk about. What made you want to write the lyrics to this particular song? Because it's very powerful.
Man, I'm not a religious person, man, but you probably heard this phrase before, but I consider myself a very spiritual person, and I observe I observe people and I observe life and you know, there's a canvas. You know, there's a canvas. I take things from my situation, and I take things from what I observe from other people, and conversations that I have with other people actually inspire lyrics for me. And for me, that's the best way to go for songs like that is to really tap into to things that people can identify with, because that's how you get. That's how people gravitate to you. When they can't identify with you, then they just, you know, they say, oh, okay, that sounds good, and they keep going. But when they can identify, when they can hear things that make their ears go up, you know, then they tend to listen a little closer. And that song for me is, you know, all of my songs are kind of personal. You know, and I don't take a lot of creative license like some of the rappers. You know, they take creative license and they'll lie about a whole bunch of stuff. You know, my things are very close to the vest and their experience that I've had in my life. So, you know, a lot of those things are very close to me. So I try to put that on the canvas so people can get a sense of it. And yeah, where were you when I was down is you know, that's you know, things that I actually thought about in my life, and then I, you know, borrowed from other people's situations through conversations I've had with them, and that's how it came out.
Man, that's pretty cool though. You know, it was how you felt. You wanted to do it. I mean, to me, anything that's genuine, you know, about how you feel about a situation or anything that comes from your soul like that should definitely be portrayed. And music is, you know, it's that's exactly what it is. You know, it's for your soul. You know, it's soothing. You know, a song could make you happy one day, another song can make you cry, man. You know, and that's the most powerful thing, at least for me, in my you know, in my path in my life, that I've always looked to, you know, especially hip hop, which is pretty crazy because I grew up on it. Even though I do production for, you know, like EDM, which is electronic dance music and stuff like that. But I've always loved hip hop, man. Like, that's been my grassroots since the beginning. You know what I mean? I started listening to hip hop back in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Back when it was, you know, like Run DMC and you know, Kool Moe Dee and EPDM. You know, in the early 90s. You know, Mobb Deep, Wu-Tang. You know, you start naming, you know, all these guys, man. All these groups, all these people that did amazing work. And they all kind of made me feel a specific way. You know, if I wanted to feel hardcore one day, man, I'd drop that freaking 36 Chambers from Wu-Tang, you know what I mean? Right. Yeah, or if I wanted to kind of chill back, man, and I was trying to relax, I'd throw on that Jodeci, you know what I'm saying? Diary of a Madman. And just relax. And that's, you know, really what I grew up to, you know, all that music from that era. But, you know, I've said this in past episodes, and I'm going to continue to say this. The 90s was the golden era of music, and then in the early 2000s, really not that good. And I'm not, you know, dissing music in general. I'm just saying that, you know, it wasn't appealing enough to me at that point. And then, you know, a few years passed, and I just started to get back into it. And then all of a sudden, man, 2014 came around, and I was doing my show, and then I started to, you know, get into, you know, the indie movement really hard, man. Because at first, you know, I was trying back in 2013, and of course, you know, everything is slow moving. You know, you just kind of start to build a base of people that want to listen to what you're saying, and you just kind of get there. And then when I got there, I was like, man, the independent movement is humongous. There are so many people out there. I think after I started to ask people to send me, you know, their music and stuff like that, I think I acquired like 1,000 songs within just a few months. And then, yeah, it was nutty, man. But I tried to play them all, you know. It's tough because there's so many songs, but I've been playing them every week for the last few weeks, and I'm almost done, man. I'm almost played all of them. I'm down to like the last like 200 songs, and I can't wait to play them. And then you guys keep sending me new music, so that total keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm gonna have to get another hard drive pretty soon here, man. I'm running out of room.
Yeah, man.
But
it ain't gonna stop. It ain't gonna stop.
Man, most definitely. So here's what I want to talk about now, Kenny. Let's get into a little bit about some of your future plans. Like, do you have any albums coming out here soon, or are you working on anything that we should probably know about?
Yeah, I got my CD. I'm actually dropping 2 CDs. I'm dropping an R&B CD. And I'm dropping a rap CD. The rap CD is going to be called Nude Music. NUDE Music. And That's some of the songs that I sent you are going to be featured on that particular CD. And I was going to release it earlier, but I keep raising the bar, and in my gut, I keep raising the bar. So some songs keep dropping off, and I'm coming up with new songs that are knocking other songs off. So I'm going to play with that. I'm going to play that little game for a minute, and then I'm probably going to try to release it sometime in August.
Oh man, that sounds really good. Sounds like a late summer release, man. That'll be cool.
Right.
Heck yeah, man. So let's talk about the Nude Music album cover. Tell me a little bit about that, because you're just kind of there. It looks like you ain't got no clothes on, and you just kind of, you're grabbing your head, man. Let's talk about that a little.
I put a lot of thought into stuff, man. It's more than a marketing thing. I look at a lot of art. When I go online, I'm always looking at art. I'm heavy into fractals. I don't know if you know what fractals are, but I like fractals. And when colors and everything are formed in a menagerie and they twist around, all that kind of stuff. But I like black and white art. I like to see the human body. And nude music is just a metaphor for what type of music I want to do, and what it means is just that my music is going to be honest, and it's going to be out front, and I'm not going to hold any punches, and I'm not going to be concerned about whose feelings get hurt. I'm going to be thoughtful. I'm going to try to be thoughtful, because I know that there's questionable language in it. But if you're being honest, sometimes you got to go there. So new music is just basically honesty is the word that goes along with that picture. But on the other side of that, it's just a marketing thing, man. It creates conversation. Because anybody I've shown that to, they immediately start asking, like, oh, if I show women that, the first thing they say is, are you really naked?
Yeah, definitely. I looked at it. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was checking it out. I was like, dude, is this guy, did he really take a naked picture? That's pretty hilarious.
See, and I leave that up to the imagination, man. I ain't even going to tell people if I was or not. I'm just going to leave it up to them.
Oh, most definitely.
Because that's how music should be, man. It should be free. It's like if I'm trying to express myself in a certain way, and I mean something one way, and somebody gets it another way, that's because of their interpretation. See what I'm saying? So, that's how the picture and my music is going to fuse together. It's like, I'm leaving things out there, but people are still going to draw their own conclusions of what they get from what I'm saying or what I'm showing them. So, that's new music.
Well, Kenny, to me, you know what nude music means? It means honesty. Like, it came from within you. It's from your heart, from your soul, your blood, sweat, and tears. All over the tracks that I got to hear from that particular album that you had. And to me, I think that's what separates you from most of the guys that are out there. And that's my next question. Like, what do you feel sets you apart from all the other artists that are out there currently?
It's hard to say, man, because I really don't know. This is a weird climate right now, man. Everything sounds the same. You know what I mean? And everybody's saying the same thing, man. It's like a conveyor belt of stuff right now. Everything's on a conveyor belt, and to me, and this is a criticism, and I don't mind saying it's a criticism, and that is that a lot of the stuff that's going on right now in music, man, is very, very forgettable music. You know what I'm saying? I mean, back in the day, like when you went through all of the things that helped you through your life when you were listening to music, and the era that you liked, that you enjoyed, you were calling them off. You were naming them off because it was memorable, man. It's memorable music. And now, everybody's saying the same thing. Everybody talking about popping bottles. Everybody talking about doing all of these things, misogynistic and disrespecting women and saying all these things, man. And it's just forgettable. It's a forgettable time in music to me right now. And people are, and I think the business itself is just making a fast buck. So for me to get in there, you know, it may be a little difficult for me to get in there, or maybe I'll stand out. But I'm going to stay true to what I'm doing and try to be as honest as I can and try to touch people, you know, in a way that they haven't been touched in a long time. Not to sound perverted, but, you know, I just want to touch people, man, in a way that they haven't been touched in a long time, and try to, you know, move away from all the things that they're hearing right now, because, you know, as soon as you hear something good, man, like the happy song, as soon as you heard the happy song, man, it shut everything down for a minute, because nobody's saying happy. You know, who's talking about being happy? You know, everybody talking about busting guns or popping bottles, or what they doing to a girl in the hotel, or excuse my language, shitting in 17 bathrooms all day or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's not a diss. That's not a diss at Lil Wayne and nothing, man. But it's real talk, man. It's like, you know, I mean, how much of that how far you gonna go with that before, you know, you hit a wall? You get what I'm saying? So, you know, all I can do is be me. And if I look like a pioneer, or I look like somebody who's, you know, heading towards the future, then so be it. That's how I want to be portrayed anyway. So, you know, that's where I'm going with this whole thing, man, with new music.
Man, well, that's the best answer I think anybody's given me in a while. I mean, it's an honest, true to life answer. You know what I mean? You want to create a concept record, a concept track, you know, something that people can, like you said earlier, associate with, relate to, you know, put it in their mind. It's going to be something that's going to be memorable. And honestly, I think you're going to do it, man. I have faith in you. I like what you're doing, Kenny. I definitely think that if you keep pushing as hard as you are, man, life will give you what you're working hard for. So that's actually going to bring us here to the last part of the interview. And this is where I like to let all the guys that I let come on the show just plug away at where they can find your music, if they want to follow you or check you out on Facebook or whatever it happens to be. Even if you got an Instagram, man, definitely throw that in there too. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Well, I got a Twitter, Kenny Brazil 1. You know, I dropped all my stuff on YouTube, so it's Kenny Brazil also, Kenny Brazil. I don't have an Instagram yet. I'm about to put that down, but I'm gonna get an Instagram. Like I said, you know, it's Twitter, Kenny Brazil 1. You know, you can find all the stuff I'm dropping on the YouTube and everything. I do all my own videos. I write and produce all of my music. You know, get at me if you need some tracks. You know, have a healthy pocketbook, because I ain't gonna play with you. You know, let's get busy and make some money.
Well, there you have it, everybody. You're looking at the one-man army, literally. He does it all. Production. He does the lyrics. He actually performs the tracks himself. And he said if you need some beats, you need to go check him out. Check out Kenny Brazil. That's KENNY BRAZIL. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Sunday edition. I'm your host, iNoslen. You can always check me out on Twitter at iNoslen Show. You can always check out my personal account at Noslen78. And as always, we'll catch ya next week.